You're listening to Simwaton from bizsupportonline.net. This InfoPod video is a demonstration of how you can use validation rules in a SharePoint list form, which is an InfoPod form, to prevent items with overlapping date and time periods from being added to a SharePoint list. Here I'm in SharePoint 2013, where I've got this room reservation SharePoint list that contains these three list items. The basic idea is that I would like to enter items into this SharePoint list, and then what I don't want is that whatever time period I select, I don't want it to overlap with existing time periods for a particular room. So for instance, I've got these two items here for room number 2. So if I were to enter a third item, for room number 2, and select, let's say I'll select a date that falls just before this date and time. So that would be on the 17th at 3 p.m. And I'll have my end date fall just after this date and time. So that would be on the 18th. At 11 a.m. If I do that, you'll see that these two validation errors will appear, and it'll tell me that existing periods fall within the selected date range, which is true because this period falls within this period. If I were to place this period within this period, so let my start date and time be the 17th at 5 p.m. and my end date and time will be on the 18th at 9 a.m. You'll see that a different validation error will appear telling me that the selected date range falls within an existing period, which is true because this period falls within this period. If I move my end date to fall within the second item for room number 2, which is on the 19th at 3 p.m. So I'll change my date to be the 19th at, for instance, 5 p.m. We'll see that the error will now tell me that the start date falls within an existing period. So this start date of mine falls within this period, which is correct. So let's change this start date to fall just after this end date there. So that would be on the 18th at, for instance, 12 p.m. And then we'll see that the validation error will tell me that the selected end date falls within an existing period, which is also true because this end date falls within this period. So now if I move this end date just to fall just before this date and time, so I'll change it to be, let's say, the 19th at 12 p.m. You'll see that the validation errors will now disappear. So I can go ahead and save my item back to the SharePoint list.